Hi guys, I'm Mike and I'm here with Keith Taylor from Bekaert Fencing and Agricultural Products. You've seen Keith before. He's hung out on the ranch many different times, but we've got him back this entire week, actually the last 3 days. Keith and I have been working on the ranch along with Jeff's help, a lot of Jeff's help.
A lot of help from Jeff.
And we've been putting up a new fence around the gardens and the high tunnel, because everybody knows when your wife says do something, you call in every favor that you can. And I think this has been a project that we've actually been planning since last ranch roundup when you were here. I think Erin brought it up then.
Oh yeah,
and
it's been a while. It's been a year in the making probably.
Exactly. So what I wanted to do was take you guys through the process of what we did over the last 3 days, kind of a step-by-step of how we went through and the problems that we solved along the way. But the first problem that we had was deer getting in the garden, and we've fenced off so many different ways in the garden. We actually had panels, we've had 8-foot panels, we've had all kinds of different stuff in there. But you're the one that came up with a solution for the problem, and that was what, 7'6", 90-inch wire?
Yeah, it's 1690 solid lock, and it's a garden fence. And it's a little smaller diameter, it's a little softer, it's a little easier to work with. The average person out trying to protect their gardens, they can do something about it.
Right.
Yeah, we've got all the fancy tools and all the gadgets, but hey, we still made mistakes. I mean, we had some gate mistakes, and I'm not a contractor, but
it's just a matter of basically, I think one of the most important things that you can do when you're doing any type of fencing project is that work in front.
Right.
And we went back and forth 3 or 4 different times trying to come up with a plan for how we wanted to do this, whether we wanted to fence off gardens separately or do the whole thing all at once.
I think at one time I had 3 drawings out to you guys about what we might want to do. I think Erin's really going to like the solution that we came up with, just simply because she doesn't have to open a gate for every garden to go in and work.
Right.
You know, when you're trying to fence off garden 1 or the small garden, the big garden, then the high tunnel separate, I mean, that just that can be a mess in itself.
You guys are going to see all that from beginning to end, but we started out with Keith just showing up, just like he normally does. Yesterday you got here, you went right to work, man. No screwing around for you, but you've got these corner posts set, and I guess these are probably like the most important part of the build, right?
They are. We just, you, me, and Erin sat down. We established where we wanted the corners, how we wanted the fence line to run. We marked them. So we'll come back and we're using used oil field pipe, drive the corners, and then pull straight lines. And that's what we're doing now. We just got a high tensile 12.5 gauge, and we're just pulling our lines, getting everything straight, ready to start driving posts and setting gates. So you had a lot of used oil field pipe, so we're not even going to use any T-posts. We're going to use all used oil field pipe.
Nice. And how deep are you going with that pipe?
We're going to go 3.5 feet with the oil field pipe. The first thing you're going to do on any project is just establish your corners and establish your lines. And we used high tensile Bekaert 200 KPSI, and we pulled that 12.5 gauge along the bottom, and then we elevated just a couple of inches with that, and then we elevated the 90-inch fence just a couple of inches, so we finished out at 8 foot.
Right.
So the first thing you're going to do is establish those corners, pull those lines, and figure out exactly your layout, what you want to do.
And that's where this thing started getting used right away.
Sure,
this is,
right off the bat.
This is what exactly are we looking at here? What is this thing?
This is just a vibratory post pounder. It'll pound up to about 6-inch wood. It drives pipe extremely well.
You guys want to learn how to put in an end brace?
Yeah. What?
Keith will teach you.
Lincoln's all for it.
I know, right?
So what we brought for this one is the 2 3/8 end style. So we used a stubby and our brace post and a diagonal.
Okay.
And the kit comes all ready to go. So it's got the bands, the collars, and it's got the caps for the top.
Right.
So in one nice little package, you get everything you need.
Where can you get these?
So we can get them, we can sell them to all of our distributors all over. They're available on tractorsupply.com right now, and then anybody that sells Bekaert products can order them for you and have them shipped in.
Local feed stores,
Yes.
co-ops, that kind of stuff. Awesome. So Keith is going to make a piece that goes from here all the way over to that post and then supports that post.
Is this supposed to be deer proof?
This is supposed to be deer proof. Not yet. It'll get there.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the kit is really nice. It your bands, all the hardware, and your collars are all ready to go.
Where are these made?
They're made in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and he has everything galvanized in somewhere in Texas. I'm not for absolute sure where he gets it.
Very cool.
But the way this works, the band would go around the post, would lock in, then you have another nut that you would run up, and that's where you get your tension on the pipe. Then the collar slides up and over and locks in the pipe like that.
Oh, okay.
And then you have a jam nut
To hold the thing together.
and you can oblong the collar, and then that way the pipe can't slide up and down.
Oh, that makes sense. So before this thing was invented or made, how would you do this?
I would cope it and weld it.
Wow.
And you know, that's gonna take you a little while.
Yeah, I've been there.
I get it. All right.
Okay, what can I do? Hold this
So
in?
grab that one and lift it up just a little. We'll come up here, set this one on the brace. Turn it to catch the angle. And you're there. Push it up till it gets good and tight. We don't even have that end down there tight. And I mean, we've already got a good brace. I mean, it's not
moving.
But you just repeat that down at the bottom, and then we've got the caps to cap off the tops of our pipes, and we're ready to go. Now we'll just jam the nut down and on this side, and it's ready to go.
That first day was basically getting your corners laid out, and that's pretty important as well. I mean, you know, behind planning what you're going to do, you have to start out somewhere, and the corner, it seems to be the best place to start out.
That's right.
I even saw that when we did the bull fence last year.
Yeah.
You know, we start in the corners and work our way in.
And Steve and I did the exact same thing up on the hill when we put the barbed wire fence up at Ranch Roundup. We established our corners and started stringing lines immediately. Luckily, you had a couple of survey markers up there that helped us get it lined up.
Right.
And we actually rode up there yesterday evening just try to take a look at it, and still good and straight and tight and
Looks
right
brand
up the hill.
new. Let's talk about that really quick, because there still is some confusion, and even I was even talking to Erin last night about it when she said, what's the difference between the two types of barbed wire? Right. And that's where we're talking about the low carbon, which is the barbed wire everybody's been using since
for
100 years. Yeah, 100 years. But now there's basically, it's not really a new product, but it's a new way of doing wire.
So we've been doing high tensile for quite some time, and high tensile is just a breaking strength that ASTM establishes, American Standard of Testing and Measures. And you have to meet that minimum requirement, and it's a breaking strength and it's an elongation strength and everything combined. So the old low carbon products, you would get all that stretch. Even when you installed, you would just, I've heard of people stretch it till they break it, then tie it back together and stretch it again. Well, who wants to break a brand new fence and have a splice out in it, you know? And with high tensile products, you just don't have to do that. You hear of people, oh, it needs to be tighter, it needs to be tighter. Well, you have a broad spectrum of customers that, you know, deer breeders and things that actually raise fawns, and they want some give in that fence. If not, it could break their neck.
Okay.
So you want a product, we try to put out a really good square product that can be tensioned at a low poundage or a high poundage. Whatever you want to do, we want that fence to perform for you. And there's no perfect right or wrong. Just because somebody wants it super tight doesn't mean that works for you.
Exactly. And just like on Erin's garden fence here, the second day we started putting up the fabric. We started putting up the woven wire.
So today, for the garden project with Our Wyoming Life, we'll be using a 1690 14 gauge solid lock product from Bekaert. 16 line wires, 90 inches tall, and hopefully this product will help keep the deer out of Erin's gardens.
Where can I buy a roll?
All right, Keith, we're back. We have line. We have so we've done all of our corners.
We have.
Then
all
line
the bracing's
posts,
done.
and then all bracings, and all that's done. So
All
now
that's
comes the moment of truth.
Comes the wire.
And anything special about this wire that we're using today?
No, it's a solid lock product from Bekaert. It's a little bit smaller than the 1348 wire that we used for the bulls.
Right.
Okay. It's a lot more user friendly. It's easier to tie. It's easier to tension. It's just a little bit smaller, but it will still hold up to some pressure. Luckily, right here we don't have any stock. So all we have to do is keep the deer out of the gardens and make Erin happy, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
All
no
right.
kidding, story of my life. So when you're rolling out wire, is there a method to your mayhem? Do you have do you like to start in any certain place? Do you have, or is it just kind of whatever happens, happens?
So Bekaert's products, especially the solid lock products, they unroll from left to right. So if you're standing on the outside of your fence, so from the left to the right. So this is the bottom of our fence. It's got the smaller squares and the bottom of the knot. So we'll lay that right along the posts as we go down through here.
Okay. And you don't attach it to the fence at all?
No.
Until we've got it all rolled out,
Right.
cut to rough length?
Rough length.
Okay.
We'll put a rough length on it, and down there against the cattle fence is going to be a little bit tight quarters. So we're going to unroll and be sure we've got enough product unrolled, and we will make that wrap or make that termination. Then we'll come back up here and pull.
Okay.
Up here we've got plenty of room and nobody in our way, nothing in our way. So
Makes sense.
all right.
All right, so we just go for it. Now,
Yep.
here, this is always fun, cutting these apart. These ones just have little hog clips on them?
They do.
Yeah.
Now, the solid lock products from Bekaert are going to be capped on the ends with gripples. Okay, this is for going roll to roll. So, and we've got plenty, so. It's going to try to come back and get us, so. No, I'm just going to wrap it around this pole right here.
Tuck it into the dirt or something.
That'll hold it. This is a real short stretch, and a shorter stretch is always a harder pull than a long stretch because you don't have that mass of steel hanging out there as you're tensioning. And then after you make the pull, oh, Jeff about got it.
I'm trying to straighten it.
Oh, it'll be okay. You have that mass of fence for a long distance, and when you make your pull, make your termination, you always lose just a little bit. So a short pull is really hard to make. So
How many feet are in a roll?
these are 165s.
Okay.
So we'll just pull it around to that first stay. The standard T-clip works for 14 gauge as well. Push it through. Pull the slack through. And we'll just make this stay, our vertical there, straight up, and we'll be square and good to go.
It's got to be satisfying to watch the and then you're using the T-clips on this side also.
Right. Now we've got all of our slack pulled out. Lost less than a link.
Wow.
Same thing on the top.
Nice.
Less than a link. Good to go.
But it's not extremely, it's not, you know, banjo
string
type. Yeah, I mean it's
and your application especially, you know, the 18 or the 14 gauge is a little more economical fence. You know, it's easier to put up. You saw some of it. If we were out there wrestling with 200K 12 and a half, you know, that would have made that build a whole lot harder.
Yeah, for sure.
But you've got a stock fence on the outside next to the hayfield. If the stock get up against that fence, they're not going to tear it up because there's already an existing fence there. And all we're trying to do is keep the deer out.
Right.
So we just want something that looks good, that performs good for you guys, and that makes Erin happy.
Yeah, that's the main thing. The last day was actually a pretty simple day, and that was today as we wrap things up. But you came in, you put in all your clips, you got all that done. We finished up a little bit of fencing, and then it was time to hang gates. Keith, this has been a whole lot of fun.
I don't know if you'd call it fun,
but we're coming into the final lap here.
We are,
and that's all about gates. We built 3 separate gates all out of top link, which I have to commend you for. I mean, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
If you need a lightweight gate, this top link stuff, and in fact, the first one I welded together, but you can see over here, this one I actually found brackets that you just bolt them together. And if you have a smaller gate, I mean, I don't even know if you need a cross piece if you made a smaller gate, but they hold together fine. The material, the fencing actually helps hold the gate together also.
It did. We used the same fabric as we used on Erin's gardens, and we just grippled it together and used the gripples to tension it. And it doesn't have to be real tight. I mean, we're not keeping livestock in or out, but I mean, it's on there pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So really, how are we going to hang these gates? I mean, are we just going to use regular chain link?
Yeah, we'll use regular chain link hardware. It'll bolt up to that 2 3/8 pipe that we used. The only question that I'm going to have is, this is the longest gate that I've ever been associated with. So as far as this style of gate, what we may have to do is run a cable diagonally to hang from the post to keep the gate from sagging, because this is a really long post.
Right, and the other option we could have is a wheel on the gate too, if we had to.
Yep.
So let's put together a gate, and we'll get it moved over and we'll get it hung.
And Mike, I'm not a fencing contractor. I understand fence dynamics, and I go out and I help people, and I talk about the products and how they perform. But you know, I can build. I've been around some guys, but hey, I'm gonna make mistakes when we build.
Everybody's gonna make them, and that's what I like about what we do and how we do it. I mean, it's about showing the product. It's about showing what Bekaert can do for folks. And if you want to keep deer out, you want to keep deer in. Right. I mean, we hopefully didn't fence in a deer, but maybe we did. And the wide spectrum of what you guys do to support agriculture is what's important to me. And you know, being able to show the variety of things that you guys can do. And you guys are really kind of concentrating right now on Bekaert and on your Facebook, on your guys' YouTube channel, on some gardening applications for your guys' fencing, whether it's rabbits or deer you're trying to keep out.
And it's changing for us as well. I mean, the social media side of it is new to us. To come into a partnership with you guys has been great. You know, you guys have led me along, you've led our team along, and you know, it's just getting the word out there of what you can do. I mean, we make a solid lock fence anywhere from 35 inches tall up to 10 foot. So I mean, there's a broad range in there for a fence to perform for you. So
for sure, if you're interested in learning more about fencing and what Keith does, you actually put on your guys' Instagram, do you guys have Instagram?
We might, but Keith does an Instagram.
I know on your Facebook page you actually do hints and tips, and you actually film some of them here.
We have.
Yeah.
We've filmed some hints and tips. We filmed a lot at the plant. We have a testing facility just outside. We set on about 120 acres. So I actually have 4 or 5 different runs of posts and everything set where we can go out, we can test. We pull random rolls off the machines and we test them and make sure our standards are there.
I always say that, you know, behind every ranch is good fence. Sure. I mean, that's what you have to have. And that's where we thank you guys for coming in and helping us to be able to fence better and helping us being able to tell people how to fence better themselves, because you can save yourself a ton of problems in the long run if you just have a really good fence to keep things in or keep things out. So,
but we also understand that, you know, you've got 26 miles of fence here on the ranch. I mean, how can you justify coming in and replacing 26 miles of fence? There has to be there has to be a balancing act. You have to have new product, but you also have to be making repairs on existing product, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We want to help with all of it. So.
Definitely, and you guys do. In fact, even while you're here, we're just getting ready. We'll show you some clips from it. We're going to go out and work on that hay yard where our cows have been busting.
We're going to pound some more posts.
Pound some more posts while we have your pounder here. That's what I was hoping. You know, if Erin gets a little bit, I'll get a little bit, and we can all be happy with it to the end. We're almost done.
We are almost done.
We have gates left to do, but I'm going to ambush you with a couple favors here. So I've got this pig pen over here. We're going to divide it into 2 separate pig pens. Okay. So I need 2 posts put in with your magic post pounder, if you don't mind doing that. And then I've got another project for you that has to do with stupid cows and green grass. But
I've heard.
Yeah, you've seen that one. We're going to put some links down in the description where you can go find out more about Bekaert. Follow him on Facebook. Check out the YouTube channel where you're going to see Keith, probably way too much.
But our channel's a little different than y'all's. We do how to. I mean, we're a how to channel.
And I don't do how to. So if you want to, obviously you got a chance to see this fence go together and it happens a lot faster in videos, trust me. But in real life, if you want to see how to actually do this kind of stuff, you're going to have to go check out Bekaert and see the how-to stuff that Keith is putting out, that Steve's putting out. What's Steve's replacement's name?
His name is Van Medley. He came on about, he's been with us for about a month now.
Okay, so, and he'll be on there
he's
too,
out
sure.
and, he's out and about. So
very cool. And if you're interested in meeting any of these guys are going to be here on the ranch for Ranch Roundup. That's the end of June. If you can make it up to this area, we're right in between Mount Rushmore and Yellowstone. It's a great kind of vacation trip to plan. You can stop by the ranch, hang out for a couple days, have a chance to meet Keith and Steve, who was here last year as well. And if you can't make it, we do sell virtual tickets as well, where you can just kind of go along with us, see all the behind the scenes stuff, live streams from the event. So it's lots of fun. We're going to go build a little bit more fence. Yeah. We're going to go knock that out, and hopefully Erin's happy. You did have a chance to interview Erin while you were here also.
I did. We wanted to talk to Erin about the EPP project and, what that exactly means and how we can help that by this garden fence.
Exactly. I mean, what we do here with the Edible Parade Project, which is Erin's nonprofit, 60% of what comes out of our gardens goes directly to needy families. So by you guys putting up a fence, you're actually protecting their food as well.
Yeah,
so.
And we want to be active in the community, and when I say community, that doesn't just mean the Van Buren, Arkansas area. We have a lot of events with the FFA and the local FFAs, national FFA, but it's the ag community. We want to be a good partner in the ag community.
Very much, very much. Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. I'm going to come up with something else. We're going to find another project eventually. I don't know what it's going to be, but we got to top this now.
Yeah.
So we go bigger.
We got to let one person run the tape measure and just one.
Yeah. Maybe we just don't even worry about gates with the next one. We can just fence something in and just call it good. Yeah, we'll come back and cut in gates later.
Sure.
Thanks, guys, for joining us once again. I hope you enjoyed watching Keith and Bekaert and I and Jeff, of course, putting up this brand new fence for Erin. Let's hope that Erin's happy with it. Let's hope we never see a deer inside there.
I hope.
Because you're going to get a phone call.
No.
And it will be 4 o'clock in the morning because she'll be out checking and she'll call you. Of course, you're on a different time zone. So
I'm going to tell her you left the gate open.
It'll be all my fault. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time right here on Our Wyoming Life.
I really think Erin's going to like what we did. The camera went off.
Oh, it's okay. It just that part just turns off.
The
blooper reel. This will be part of Bekaert's new campaign. So easy that a kid can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just filming this for bloopers for when Jeff lands on his when he steps on it and goes right out from underneath him.
Not gonna happen.
Out there as your tension, and then after you make the pull, oh, Jeff about got it.
Uh-oh. Got pinched.
You already bleeding?
Yeah, it bit me.
I always see the picture in the head.
It could. And things like this are just a very special project in the community that we're more than happy to help, and we're glad you guys made us a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game changer for us this summer to have this nice fence and this exclusion fence. Because EPP is new and we don't have our own land, approximately 60% of the produce that I grow here is being given or used for our veggie baskets, and for hopefully this summer too, for our summer weekend meals for kids program. We do 300 to 400 weekend food bags for kids in our community.
That's
and
awesome.
We're trying to give everybody at least one piece of local produce this summer. So things like zucchini and cucumbers, maybe some cherry tomatoes, carrots, and a lot of that stuff deer really like. So we're really hoping to give kids in our community local produce this summer too.
Well, great. Bekaert's very happy to be here. We appreciate you guys having us here. So we'll just run out here real quick and we'll take a look at the fence.
It looks awesome. I'm so excited.